Well, a very good Saturday afternoon to you, early evening on the East Coast. My name is Dave Kaz, coming to you from Los Angeles, California. I'm home today, and I want to say thank you very much for joining us for a little special Saturday Facebook Live. It's all in anticipation of our big live stream tomorrow, and it's just going to be a short show. I want to just reflect on the fact that usually we do our shows on Friday. But because it's such a beautiful day outside, let me show you. There's a beautiful day outside. There it is, here in Los Angeles, and maybe I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are, so that we can get out there and enjoy the sunshine and hopefully some nice weather. And thank you very much for joining us. We have a very special guest who's going to join us in just a couple minutes. He's one of my great buddies, and I couldn't be a bigger fan of his because I really watched this kid, and he is a kid. I mean, he's in his 30s, but to me, that's a kid. I watched this guy blossom from his humble beginnings. He's a doctorate. He's got a doctorate. He's a professor of music. He's also one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard. And he could do everything. And over the last few years, last 3 or 4, maybe 5 years max, he's really dedicated himself to becoming a solo artist. And I think he's now one of the go-to guys. If you want a guitarist on your lineup for a festival or a tour, this is the guy. His name is Adam Hawley, and he's not only our guest today on this special edition of our at-home show, but he will be a very special guest tomorrow for our live stream. We are bringing the cruise experience to your couch tomorrow. There's been a lot of excitement about people getting back into our lives. A lot of more vaccinations taking place in our country, and cities and municipalities opening up. I went out to a dinner the other night. It's been a while since being in a restaurant, and it was such a beautiful experience. And I've forgotten how great that experience is. Everything now, the experiences that are fresh again for us, I don't think any of us can really take for granted, especially after what we've been through for the last year plus. So we are celebrating the return to cruising. Our next cruise is May of 2022. It's called Amsterdam and the British Isles. And to sort of celebrate the fact that people are starting to think about vacationing again, which is awesome. There is nothing like a cruise vacation. So we are doing a special live stream show tomorrow where we can bring the cruise experience to you on your couch. And Blake, if you want to throw up, there it is, our little our thing. I'll tell you who's involved in the show. Not only is Adam Hawley, our guest today, going to be there, but also Vincent Ingala will be there, Eric Darius, Chris Walker, fantastic vocalist, and Japanese keyboard sensation Keiko Matsui will be there. And we had a rehearsal yesterday. We did a Facebook Live from rehearsal. It was so much fun. Everybody just so excited to be in the same room together making music. The whole event tomorrow will be hosted by our dear friend Pat Prescott, my sister. And all that's missing is you. And you can get your ticket. If you haven't purchased one yet, you can pick one up at my website, davekaz.com. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. All right. So I want to just play a real quick little something for you. This is a little bit of the title track to my album called The Dance. And we're going to play it tomorrow, and Chris Walker's going to sing it. But we were rehearsing it yesterday in Burbank, and I was really feeling this song. This is a song that's very famous. It was made famous by Garth Brooks, who had the quintessential version. Garth didn't write it. It was written by a guy named Tony Arata, a Nashville songwriter. And I'm not going to sing it, obviously, because I played this. But tune in tomorrow to see Chris sing it. But this song, especially right now, coming out of COVID, is such an important song because it really talks about the nuances in life. And what we've been through for the last year has been very, very difficult on so many people. The whole entire world was affected. And the idea of why this song is sort of relevant to the times that we're living in now, and I think it will be relevant forever, is that life is really about how do you handle the good times and the bad times, because you can't have this lifetime excuse me, without some difficult times. And that's what this song really talks about, is how to put it all in perspective. So I like the idea of we're coming out of this period, coming out of COVID, we're feeling great, but to go into our lives without thinking about what we've learned and and integrating what we've learned over the last year plus. That's really how we move forward in a smart way. So that's what this song talks about. So here, dedicated to you, is a little bit of the dance. There's a little of the dance for you. Thank you for all your lovely comments. Now we're going to get to some music from Adam Hawley. It is such a great pleasure for me and joy to have this guy join us. Anytime that I can get a chance to make music with this young gentleman is a great thing for me. He's served as one of our musicians on the cruise for many, many years. I can't even remember how many years, but a lot of years that he has been a main stage guitarist for us. And over the last couple of years, he has gone from sideman to star, and he's done it in such a beautiful and elegant way. And at the core of everything he does is excellent musicianship and an amazing attitude. So here to share a little Saturday afternoon with us is the one and only Adam Hawley.
All right. What's up, Dave?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man? Check is in the mail. You are too kind.
You know, it comes from the heart.
Oh.
Although if you want to send a check, that's fine too.
No, appreciate you. Thanks so much for having me. This is going to be so much fun tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And yesterday, you'd been doing your AH live show.
Yeah.
For how many weeks have you done it? This is your Facebook show that happens every single week. How many weeks have you done it uninterrupted?
Yeah, we've not missed a week. We just celebrated 1 year last week. So I think this is now week 53 or 54. So it's been so much fun. You were so nice to lend your talents and come on at one point. We've had so many guests: Rick Braun, Denise Williams, Paul Jackson Jr. List goes on and on. So yeah, shameless plug every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific.
There's nothing shameless about that. But I think it's really great because I know that because these shows that we've done and the live streams that we have done have meant a lot to people, especially in this time period. So I just want to say publicly to you, thank you for doing that and giving of yourself to all of us. I love being on your show. I've seen your show as a fan many times. So just continue to do that. But I was really watching you yesterday because yesterday when we had a rehearsal for our live stream, that was the first time that you'd made music with other people in all this time since COVID started, right?
Yeah, it's been so crazy. I got so used to playing with my backing tracks. They're always the same. So, it's odd to have, being playing with other musicians and they're interacting with you. And it's odd that that's odd. But I missed it so much. And it was just so incredible. Just everybody, just the level was just so high, and we had to meet the moment. It's going to be so incredible tomorrow.
Well, I'm very, very excited that you're a part of this show. And I want to say thank you for all the years of support that you gave to me being in my band and also being on our cruise. But I really have to say congratulations to you publicly on this incredible career that you've created for yourself. So I just want to ask you this. What was inside of you? Because you had a wonderful career as a professor. You were traveling around with huge superstars, whether it be J-Lo or the Manhattan Transfer. You had everything was humming along beautifully, and then something inside of you said, "Wait a minute, I want to do something different." What was the motivation for you to say, "I'm going to do this on my own. I want to be my own artist"?
Yeah, it was always in the back of my mind, and I started on my first album when I was in college. I was a junior. This was 2005 at the University of Southern California, and believe it or not, 3 of the songs I wrote way back then ended up on my first album in 2016. But yeah, life got really busy. I started touring with the Manhattan Transfer, as you mentioned. We got married to my lovely wife, Pat. We had our son, Adam Jr. And next thing you know, I'm just trouncing around the globe with all these different people: Natalie Cole, Jennifer Lopez, Layla Hathaway, etc. But I'll tell you, 2013 was a magical year. All within 1 year, I started touring with Huge Groove, Brian Culbertson, and then you hired me for your cruise, all within a matter of like 3 months. And then that's when I got to see behind the scenes on how the whole thing works with contemporary jazz, the whole festival circuit, club, making records, just how to make all of that happen. And so I started on the record without a record deal or anything. And then I ended up getting connected with Kalimba Music, Maurice White's label. He was the founder and lead singer of Earth, Wind & Fire. And, the rest is history. It was just such a huge blessing to be a part of that record company. And I did 2 albums with them. And it was meant to be. I really believe timing is everything. That song that was my first single, I wrote it in 2005. In 2016, it ended up being #1 for 5 weeks in the summer of 2016. And then we've just been rolling ever since. So I just feel really blessed.
Well, I've said this to a lot of artists because I've been around for a long time. I got the gray hair to prove it. So younger artists will call me and say, "Do you have any advice? Can you give me some pointers on how I'd like to become an artist in the world of contemporary jazz or smooth jazz?" And I basically say, research Adam Hawley.
Oh.
Because you sort of have, and maybe because of the fact that you came from that educational background, that the way that you approached doing it was very methodical. Like, you put in a lot of hard work. You did the research. You recognized what was necessary to create your own brand, if you will, the Adam Hawley brand, which is not the Adam Hawley playing behind somebody else, but the star himself. But I think that the key for looking at it, if there was a secret sauce to anything of it, I think you can't ever get around the hard work. Like, you put in hours. But what would you say to younger artists who are wanting to achieve the kind of success that you've achieved?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I'm not a huge football fan, but there's a quote that Bill Belichick, the coach of the New England Patriots, said. He said, "No days off." And I'm a believer of that. I mean, of course, you gotta make time for family, and there's got to be balance. But at the same time, there's no substitute for those hours. So, man, just a lot of overnighters, finishing mixes, finishing, production. I'm also a big believer in business hours. So I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Wow. And get straight in the studio, working on emails and working on mixes. And I just find myself being more productive that way. So, those are part of it. But I think the main thing is a lot of people feel like, oh, gosh, I didn't get that break, or I didn't, But that's exactly what it is it's your network. And so for myself and the goals I had, I knew I had to get to Los Angeles. I grew up in Oregon. And don't hate me, anyone out there watching from Oregon. Is a gorgeous place to live and to grow up. But to be in entertainment, you got to get somewhere where it's happening. And for me, Hollywood was like that. It's what's at the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold. And so getting down here and just, being in the scene, I just felt so fortunate to be able to learn, go to school, and get to know the right people at the same time. And, so I believe luck is part of it, but you got to make your own luck too. You got to get in the right place and meet the right people and figure it out. So.
Yeah, that's a beautiful answer, because the truth is there's no simple way of doing it. You just got to put yourself out there. which you have done so beautifully. So let's listen to some music. You've prepared a little, I think it's the title track to your latest album for us, which is Escape. And I know that you're going to play the new single from it tomorrow. We're not going to do that today to keep that fresh for tomorrow, but that's called Tokyo Groove, which is turned into one of my favorite songs.
Oh,
love that song. And but you're going to play the title track for us right now?
Yes, this is Escape, and on the record it featured Rick Braun, and so yeah, let's do it.
Adam Hawley.
Woo, that was a workout.
I love it, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hot. I love reading I was just reading the comments while you were playing there, and it's just so amazing. We have such wonderful fans in this genre of music, and people are watching from someone from Indonesia, somebody from Russia, Costa Rica, wherever you're watching this show. Thank you so much for supporting us. You have no idea how much it means to have that kind of support and encouragement. So thank you. We appreciate you so much. So tomorrow, anything that you're particularly excited about?
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't know how much I can give away, but I think a really cool thing about your tunes is there's a bunch of them that have not been played before. Isn't that right? And
That's it.
man, I mean, I was having so much fun listening to some of these cuts from your previous record. So I think that's really cool. I think that's a definitely a reason to tune in.
Well, I should say thank you to Randy Jacobs,
Yeah.
who's been my music director for a long, long time, but also just an incredible guitar player. And by the way, he is doing a show tonight honoring Jeff Golub at Rick's Cafe, Rick Braun's show tonight, 6:30, I believe. And Randy Jacobs is going to be doing a tribute to the late, great Jeff Golub. Did you know Jeff? Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
I did not, unfortunately. I've had the great pleasure of learning some of his guitar parts. I've played Philadelphia with Rick a few times, and man, what an incredible talent! And yeah, unfortunately, didn't get to meet in person, but I'm a huge fan, and it's definitely a huge loss. So I'll be tuning in as well tonight.
Yeah, I know that the music is going to be off the hook tonight because he was such a. The thing about Jeff Golub that was so great. The music spoke for itself because if he had a guitar in his hand, it would always be on fire.
Yeah.
But he had everything, like when you think about even though he's a jazz musician, he was a blues and rock musician at his core. And so he had that swagger, the way that he looked, the way his hair was like perfectly unkempt. And the way when he would play, he would, you're a guitar player, I'm not, but there's certain things that you can do with your body that are like classic rock god guitar player moves. And he had all that swagger and all that attitude and just made watching him so fun. I mean, he was just so much fun. Anyway, so tonight I think that will be a really special thing. It'll be good to know that you're watching at home. And Rick Braun, I'm not sure exactly. I guess Rick Braun on Facebook, you can find it, or on YouTube every Saturday night at 6:30. So I'll be there. I'm going up to play jam on one song with Randy on that and Rick. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm very excited about you playing with me on one of the songs that I have not played in probably 25 years. A song called "Shakin' the Shack" that appeared on my second album, Lucky Man. And Robin Ford was the brilliant guitar player that played it on the album. And you just took it to another level at rehearsal yesterday. So I can't wait to do it for real.
Man, I had to do something to fill those shoes. Robin has always been a huge influence on me. He did a master class at USC when I was in college. But his records, especially the first Yellow Jackets record, Talk to Your Daughter, I can go on and on and on. I know it's not the Robert Ford show, but man, it was so much fun checking out that track. So I had to do a little something with it.
Yeah, you did. Believe me, you did. By the way, speaking of doing a little something, you're about ready because I think it's we're going to have a summer tour. You're going to have, well, actually, you're not even a summer. You're starting, is it next weekend in Breeze Jazz Festival?
Well, I'm so excited. You know, this live stream you're nice enough to have me on is the kickoff for my tour dates. And then next week, I'm so excited to connect with Lindsay Webster. We're playing Friday night at Seabreeze, and it's going to be such a blast. And then I'll be at Warren Hills Festival in Los Cabos in May, and then it just keeps rolling from there. So, you know, you can find all those dates at adamhawley.com. And yeah, the dates have been rolling in. I feel so fortunate. It's been just a crazy last year, and so cannot wait to get out and, you know, just bring the music to the people. And, you know, you mentioned these live stream shows. I kind of selfishly, it helps me too, because I miss the camaraderie of just hanging with everybody. You mentioned the family of smooth jazz. We see a lot of the same people at multiple events. They come out and, you know, see the same people at like 4 of my shows in a year. So we miss all of those incredible fans and supporters. And so, yeah, just can't wait to hit the road.
I think this summer is going to be a summer that we'll never forget, because we don't take it for granted anymore. I don't know anybody that's taking anything for granted anymore. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the live stream, and then out in full force starting at Seabreeze, and then hopefully all summer long. So many happy musicians getting back to work and getting back to what we do, which is, you know, music is healing. So the world needs a little healing these days. So we're ready to get back to work and be with all of you. So one more time before we close out the show, Blake, if you want to throw up our little slide there, that's Cruisin' on a Sunday Afternoon happens tomorrow, and it stars the incredible Adam Hawley, Chris Walker, Vincent Ngala, Eric Darius, and Keiko Matsui, each one of them doing their own music and also in collaboration with me, all hosted by Pat Prescott. We're bringing a cruise experience. It's very difficult to put the cruise experience into words. So tomorrow we're going to put it into song. And so you'll see for yourself what the cruise experience is like, chock full of So I'm looking forward to that. Buddy, again, thank you so much for everything. The name of Adam's latest record, and it's a brilliant album, as are all of his productions. It's called Escape.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see you tomorrow. And thank you so much. And you graciously agreed to let us close out our show with something that we did together on your show, AH Live. I guess it was when was this? It was maybe like the summertime of last year.
Yeah, about 9 months ago. Yeah, and it was wild. We were trying to connect for a while, and then you ended up taping it, just through your phone. But it turned out fantastic. I mean, hey, Dave, if you could play, you could play, and you could play.
It's so funny because, like, I'm not a technical person. I am just like, leave me electronics. It's not such a pretty picture. And I was up in Sausalito,
right,
and I had no studio up there. And you were kind enough to ask me to do it. And I was like, well, I think I might be able to make it happen, but I'm not sure if it's going to sound good. But you were so sweet, and you made it sound good. So, and the other thing I should say is this is a very obscure piece that appeared on an album of mine called Off the Beaten Path, which was my I think it was my third album. And it was a dismal failure. But for the people that love that album, that's their favorite album of mine. And on it was this duet between the soprano sax, me, and a guitar player. I want to talk about a guitar god. It's a guy named Leo Kotke, who's a steel string guitar player extraordinaire. And so I asked you for one of the cruise things. I said, would you mind learning this? Now, trust me when I tell you, this is not an easy thing to learn. And he not only learned it, Adam, but he memorized it and played it flawlessly. Oh. And so I asked him, I said, do you mind if we do this for your show? And he said, yes. So that's what we will close our show out with. Any parting words, Adam Hawley, before we take it back?
Man, no, just appreciate you, Dave, so much. You're always too kind, and just cannot wait to make some music tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. So hope to see you all there.
Thank you, Adam, so much for being a part of the show today and tomorrow. You can get your tickets if you don't have one yet. It's $25, and one ticket is for the whole family. And you get that and information about the show at my website, davekaz.com. Thank you so much for watching. And Adam and I are going to leave you with our special duet. This is called Awakenings. That was recorded for Adam's special show, Adam Hawley Live. And this is a little taste of what you can experience tomorrow, and a lot of high energy music as well. We look forward to seeing you for Cruisin' on a Sunday Afternoon tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you very much from Adam and I and everybody here associated for spending a little part of your Saturday with us. Have a great rest of your day. Here is Awakenings. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks.